Welcome to the Profitable Farmer Podcast, where it's all about increasing the profitability of your farm by working smarter, not harder.
G'day. I am feeling really motivated today. Had a really fantastic week last week. We went off or out of the business and we hired an Airbnb and had through almost 3 days with our team where we had a great opportunity just to really assess the current reality of where we're at in our business at Farm Owners Academy and plan out the next 6 months. We actually decided to do a 6-month plan, which is a bit outside the box. Usually we do a 3-month plan, but just because of Christmas and because of a lot happening early next year, we decided to do a 6-month plan. And what really blew me away was the ideas that our team were able to provide back up to us, which completely jolted the journey or the strategy, if you like, of where we're taking our company, Farm Owners Academy, in a really positive way. For any of our Farm Owners Academy clients on our mastermind, listening to this, it doesn't mean changes from what you're currently getting or receiving. It's just more the strategy of how we're able to influence and reach more farmers. And it was fantastic because it was left field. And I always teach that often the greatest success is 3 degrees to the left or right as to where we're currently looking. And I just had it was just really good to get that feedback, and I really appreciate our team so much for giving that feedback. It came from predominantly one of our team members who's just joined us. Her name's Kobe, but she's the one at the front talking with the farmers, and I'm amazed that we're now going off on a fresh new direction that feels significantly better than the direction we were on before. So just thought I'd share the power of getting off farm and just listening to what your team members have to say about what you should be focusing on and what your strategy could be to grow your business. But before we dive into this week's topic, which is a game changer, by the way, so make sure you stick around because I'm going to share with you what I feel is one of the best things I've ever learnt in business. So please stick around for what I call a golden strategy, if you like. But before that, we got so much positive feedback from our last podcast where we interviewed Tracy. And I invite you to go back and listen to it. It's Are You Okay? And really, we just addressed so much around mindset and how we put so much pressure on ourselves, and particularly farmers. And I just wanted to share this really fantastic feedback from one of our members, Carla, who just wrote, I thought it was really relevant to where a lot of farmers in our community are at. So I've shared it with about 20 farmers who I believe will get something out of it. The examples giving up your thoughts on loop was very relevant for where I'm at, and not taking my inner critic thoughts out on my family. I'm so grateful for finding Farm Owners Academy. The support here is like nothing I've ever experienced, and it makes me want to be a better person. I have a long way to go, but at least I know I have support, resources, encouragement. And anyone else who's out there struggling, please don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help. It could be the best thing you ever do, Carla. I just wanted to share that and thank you, Carla, for that comment, because it is really nice getting feedback like that, and also really nice knowing that information can add value and help. And that drives me to another point, that we're called Profitable Farmer, yet we have a bigger mission or underlying desire to want to help you find happiness and peace of mind, and really letting go of a lot of these internal noise, this internal chatter and beliefs and craziness that we can do in our minds that cause so much unhappiness. And I personally have a far greater mission to help our members find peace of mind than money. What's the point of making all this money if you're not happy, right? So I appreciate that, Carla, and anyone else that wants to have a listen to that podcast, rip back into it. So diving into today's podcast, I wanted to talk about the power of asking better quality questions. And often just changing the question that you're asking yourself has a ripple effect on everything else that happens. And I'll show you how. And then I'm going to lead to this amazing tool which saved a business that I was in prior to this. And I'll share the example how it not only saved a business, but gave me the resourcefulness that I needed to succeed in businesses following. So there's a just to put this into context, there's a fantastic book written, and the book is titled, "Will This Make the Boat Row Faster?" Will this make the boat row faster? Question mark. And the story was written by an Olympic rower. And that was the question that he would ask himself every minute of every day. Will this make the boat row faster? And I wanted to start off with sharing this because that is a really powerful question. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, you're an Olympic rower and you're constantly asking that, and you're questioning everything you're doing, and you're really aligning this with speed of the boat, which is no wonder he can become an Olympic champion, all through asking a simple question. And I just love that question, because imagine if you could create a question like that will just keep you energized, focused, on course, and that you consistently ask that over and over and over again. I'll give you some great examples as we move throughout this podcast. But if you think about it, we're all after a better quality of life. I'm sure that's why you're listening to this podcast and other podcasts is, we all want a better quality of life, right? So in order to get a better quality of life, then we just have to get better quality of results. Wouldn't you agree? But in order to get better results, we need to take better actions, right? So actions lead to results, leads to quality of life. But in order to take better actions, we need to make a better quality of decisions. Now, in order to make better decisions, you need to ask better questions. This is where it all starts from. But it even goes deeper than that. In order for you to ask better questions, you need better quality of beliefs and dreams. And I always find the thing that influences your beliefs and dreams the most is the quality of your knowledge and your education. This is really important. There was a guy that said, he was interviewed, a very successful business owner, and he was interviewed and he said, making $25 million a year is easy. It just took me 30 years to believe that I could do it. And really, it does start with the beliefs, because if you don't believe that you can run a really successful business that makes significant profit for you and gives you a lot of time freedom, if you don't believe that in the first place, you'll never actually ask the questions, therefore make the decisions, therefore take the actions, therefore get the results, therefore see the impact on your life, right? So it's got to start with a quality of your beliefs and dreams. And hence why we've spent time in previous podcasts really talking about the impact that your beliefs around even money can have on your outcomes. And so the driving force of decisions is questions, and creating strong questions has a massive impact on how we operate our lives, and every facet of that. So how we start the day. So for example, if you were to wake up in the morning and ask a question, I wonder what shit's going to happen to me today. I wonder what crap's going to come my way today, right? That's a question that just has the ability to open up the opportunity for you to attract or see a lot of negativity coming into your day. Versus the quality question, I wonder what amazing opportunities are going to come my way today. Okay? I mean, imagine just changing the way you start your day with a different quality of a question can have a big impact. And there's so many questions that you can be asking yourself that can improve the quality of your life, unquestionably. For example, one of the best questions that I invite you to ask all the time is this the best use of my time right now? So simple, right? Is this the best use of my time right now. And you can have that printed sitting beside you, or carry it around, or stick it on your ute, or stick it in your tractor, and ask that question over and over and over again, and that will actually improve what you will do with your time. You could ask another great question: what do we need to do to improve our net profit from, for example, 10% a year to 30% per year? Now, that's another quality question, right? Another quality. Here's what a lot of people do as well. Like we'll often maybe mention, buy this course or do this, and someone might immediately say, I can't afford that. Now, if you make that statement, I can't afford that, you immediately shut down your entire subconscious mind. Your entire thinking won't work for you, right? So a much more effective thing to ask is, how can I afford that? You know, many of you will shut down the and this is, by the way, this is purely from the quality of your beliefs and dreams and your upbringing. So it's not. This is certainly not me telling you you're wrong, because I was like this for many years. I would think a certain way, and therefore my reality just reflected I call it my stinking thinking. But you know, you might have the thought process that and put yourself through a whole lot of unnecessary suffering by saying we just can't afford to take holidays, versus how can we run a really successful business and also take fantastic holidays every year, right? So asking a better quality question will invite a stream of answers and therefore decisions that you may never even have thought about. So this now prompts me into this golden strategy, which changed my business, changed my life, and I'm going to pass it on to you. But before I do, I just wanted to give a big shout out for our Top Producers program that we run. We have a 2-day event which is designed to help you run a significantly better business. And it's 2 days where you get to leave the busyness of your farm and invest in working on your business. We've run this 5 times. It's sold out 5 times. We're already close to having 100 tickets sold, so that the room can hold slightly over 200. We're almost 50% sold out before it's even launched. Just to share this with you, but our 2-day event called the Top Producers Program, that stands for Transform, Optimize, Propel Your Farm. And it's a fantastic 2 days where you get to come along, and we're going to walk you through 9 key steps on what you need to do to create a highly profitable farm that has the ability to work without you. The thing I love most about this event is you're going to implement and make the changes in the room as you go. So yeah, we'll be putting you through some audits and some opportunities to ask really fantastic questions for where you're taking your business, where you're taking your farm, and what you need to do to hit some of these targets that we talk about, so we can really help you get the returns of your business up, but at the same time get your stress levels down. So do whatever you can and come along to this event. You can buy tickets at farmownersacademy.com/event. farmownersacademy.com/event. It's 2 days. I'm one of the I run 50% of it. Greg Johnson, my co-founder, runs the other 50% of it. We have 2 farmers sharing their knowledge on how they run really highly profitable farms and take significant time out from their farms. And they're going to walk you through how they're able to do that from implementing what we teach. So just wanted to plug that. But back now to this golden question. This golden piece of theory. So this was taught to me by a guy called Brian Tracy, and he refers to this as zero-based thinking. And zero-based thinking is where you ask yourself a question, and you then give yourself the space to come up with, and this is the key, minimum 20 answers to that question. And so you might write the question across the top of a page. And by the way, it's got to be done with a pen to paper. And you just got to trust me on this. This is a really powerful exercise. I use it all the time when I'm stuck. And so let's just assume that you're in need of, I'm going to say $10,000, right? You're short and you're behind and you're in a drought, things are tight and you need $10,000. And so you write this question, how do we make $10,000 by, and then you insert dates. And you know, I like to give myself maybe 2 months or 3 months to come up with the answer. You might even give yourself 30 days. And then there's an opportunity just for you to brainstorm minimum, this is the key, minimum 20 answers to that question. Now, why 20 answers? Well, Brian Tracy taught me that we are extremely creative beings. We have so much resourcefulness. It's like a river of resourcefulness, and it's very untapped. And we actually don't access anywhere near what our brains is capable of. And that's because we're not trained to really think as deeply as what we could. And so Brian Tracy invites you to challenge and come up with these 20 answers. Now, these could be just totally wacky, creative ideas that will never happen. But what I find most fascinating about this exercise is I actually get into sort of 14, 15, 16, and that's where creativity really kicks into gear. And I'm quite even amazed with the answers that come out of it. It might invite you to ask family or friends or other people on your farm what else they would do, but it's a very, very powerful technique to get you out of a troubling situation, or to get you just thinking differently, right? And I love it. So I just thought I'd share this with you. I was running a business in Sydney, and I had the most horrendous month on record. So I had 3 team members quit in one day. The problem was they were our best team members, and literally $100,000 of income left my business, walked out of the business. Now, by the way, $100,000 of revenue per month. So my business was turning over about $250,000 a month. And $100,000 just got sucked up, spat out. And that literally just wiped out, a lot of profit, and all of a sudden we weren't breaking even. Like, I was a growing company, and I'd invested enormously into rent and team, and so it was a really big shock that these people were quitting on me, and I got an enormous lesson from that in itself. And I was really stuck. I didn't know what to do. So stuck that if I couldn't find... it was 2 months later, so they walked out, the $100,000 left. 2 months later, I was in the red, and all of a sudden, I was in a cash situation where I was in a negative cash flow, and needed money to pay the bills. And I wasn't in a position back then to pull on reserves. I couldn't access an overdraft. I didn't have any sort of assets that I could borrow against. And to be really frank, I was paying off debt. So I wasn't in a strong financial situation, and I used the zero-based thinking. And back then, it was I was in need of $100,000 just to save the business. Really, that's what it felt like. So I used zero-based thinking, and I posed the question across the top of the page, and challenged myself to come up with all the answers. And I remember there was this one quirky idea that came into my brain from left field. And it was just this idea of why couldn't we offer another person's course that has nothing to do with us but would add value to all of our clients? What if we could offer them this course, but they win because the person running the course wins, because they then get to put their course to our clients. Our clients win because they get the opportunity to develop their skills. And the win for us would be we'll take a cut of the sales that this particular training company would do. So I approached this amazing guy that I've learned a lot from. His name's Krill Price, and I've spoken of Krill before. And I said, Krill, if we could market you to all our clients, could we get a cut? And he went, absolutely, I'll pay you 50%. And that was a bit of a shock to me. I'm like, wow, he pays 50%. And now his course was $3,000. So that meant every sale was $1,500. And so we marketed that out to our database of, 10,000 business owners. It was in the eastern suburbs in Sydney. And we literally filled 2 events out of that. And it actually brought in more than $100,000. It was about $300,000 in sales in all. So we got about $150,000 out of that exercise. And I got a huge learning from that whole process that, wow, that idea came from zero-based thinking, number one. So it wasn't on the table. I wasn't even thinking about it. And then I just also learned a whole new idea of how to generate cash flow, which I'd never even thought about, really, which was introducing and taking a cut from both parties. We're very upfront. We told all our clients that there's something in it for us. No one cared. They didn't have to buy a ticket to the course or not. So I just thought I'd share that came as a result of being a little bit creative. And so I just invite you to trial this out. Ask whatever question that you want answered. And then see how you go coming up with 20 answers. And I'm sure you'll be surprised with just how creative your mind can be. But I hope that helps. Just remember, better questions is the key. And see what happens when you just start really paying attention to what questions are you asking of yourself. I'll leave you with that thought. Are you asking empowering questions? How can I be a better person? How do I improve my leadership skills? How do we not only thrive this drought, but get ahead in this drought? How do we maintain our enthusiasm? Who do we need to speak to become better farmers? Who do we need to learn from to take our business to the next level? I mean, these are all questions. And when you train yourself to ask better quality questions, the decisions will follow, followed by the actions, followed by the results, followed by the change in your life. Hope you got something from this podcast. Please subscribe, please share, and we'll see you on another one in the near future. But for now, take care. Bye now.